And good evening, everybody. This is Michael Filighera. I am with logicalsignals.com and also tradershelpingtraders.com. And this is the Elliott wave update for the NASDAQ 100 for Monday, August 23rd, 2021. Well, the market put in a little bit of a surprise for me today in that it just raced higher after the indication was that we likely will have a slow inside day, small range between now and Friday, when the Fed's Jackson Hole meeting will conclude and the Fed Chair Powell will have a news conference. Well, I had felt that during that time that the markets would react to pundits coming out and saying things and to what they feel the Fed will do or don't do, and that could influence buyers and sellers throughout the week. They all came in today, and I didn't see any pundits. So this was all pretty much pre-planned for to make this huge move into uncharted waters, so to speak. Now, as we left the count yesterday, I continue to now leave this as minor wave 4. This is the minor wave 5. Regardless of which count I use, it's going to have the same conclusion. But this one, it still fits, and we can leave that all as corrective. And now putting in clean new all-time highs this morning and then this afternoon, and still expecting additional new all-time highs. So let's get a little bit of a balance on where we are in this sequence. We are now counting up 5 waves of minute degree to finish a minor wave 5. That does suggest that we have minute wave 1 and minute wave 2 complete. Minute wave 3 is subdividing as it should. And thus far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the subminute wave 1 and a small little ABC for a subminute wave 2. And this is all or part of wave 3. I don't think wave 3 is over. I think that even this internal small wave 3 has a little bit more to go, and then has an additional 4 and then a 5th wave, which is going to likely bring it up into here. Now, I can add one more Fibonacci extension level just to kind of get an idea of where wave 3, the internal wave 3, can come in. And then we'll be able to see what that all looks like. So you can see it really starts to double up. And it doesn't really go too much further than that zone. But wave 3, if it really got itself going, in terms of the minute wave 3, then I would expect that the possibility that we're going to end up of that 15,500 plus level. But in terms of this subminute wave 3, I think that's going to come in somewhere around 15,342. Then we have 15,357, and possibly as high as 15,425. So there is still strong potential that even this internal third wave is going to get us up to that 15,400 level, or in that area. So we've got a cluster right here, an additional cluster right there. And then we're going to get a pullback in first a subminute wave 4 and then a subminute wave 5 to complete the minute 3. So we'll get that subdivision done. Then we pull it back again in a minute wave 4, and then we head up into a higher minute wave 5 to complete the minor wave 5. Now, where can that tell us it is going to be going? Well, right here is where minor wave 5 would be equal to 0.382% of the minor third wave. That's at 15,557, we'll call it 560. And we actually have stronger zones up higher. Well, if the NASDAQ could rally 200 points today, if it tacked 200 points on here tomorrow, then we're up to 5,540. And then if it tacked on an additional 200 or 300 points to finish a 5th wave, we're up here at 15,800. So it's all possible. And we've got resistance zones now stacked simply by just stacking up our extensions. The first one that we stacked up was the extensions for minor wave 5. And those are right there. So we're getting up into areas that could complete the entire sequence. But then our internals are telling us, so we have the first ones that kind of go along in here as to what this third wave can look like. So we already have where we were pressing up against that this third wave was already 1.70 or 170% times the length of wave 1. And that would be right here. And we were almost there today. So no reason why that third couldn't just pull back in a small 4 here and then zip up yet again and get itself up to that 15,000. Let me see exactly what this is. 15,428 or 430. So I still think that this third wave will get us above 15,400. In fact, I was thinking the way they were going today, it was just going to keep going and get itself right there, and then it would be done. So this is what I'm going to be looking for tomorrow. A move back up into this area. Now, again, if they go gangbusters, we can be looking for up here or even up here to that 15,500 level just to complete the third wave. But right now, I'm going to look for it right here, just above 15,400, 430-ish, up in that area. Pull back in a minute 4, so that would complete minute 3. Pull back in a minute 4, and then get ready for that finishing minute 5th wave. Now, once that is in, I will be able to take off quite a bit of these external, these smaller ones. In fact, I'm just going to take that one off right now, extension 3, and start to clean this up a little bit. So you can see it a little bit cleaner now, that I can have subminute 1, subminute 2, subminute 3. I think it really could finish here and then do a 4 and then a 5. And then that minute 3 ends up about here, maybe a little bit higher. And then we pull back again, and then we might shoot for the gold. But then I believe that we'll be able to put that one more additional. So we'll take this one down, the third, and then run it from the third to wherever the fourth ends up to see what that final will be. So we'll be able to take some away so that it's not quite as congested and get a clearer picture. Right now, if I were to take this one off, you can see all we have is those for the minor 5. And minor 5 projects easily, minimum, 15,557, 560, minimum. I mean, if this really gets going, we have 16,000 sitting up at the top. And that is just where minor 5 equals 0.618 of minor 3. And that is the #1 relationship between a 5th wave and a 3rd wave. So we have still quite a bit of upside potential in this market. And we have until Friday for when all this news may come out. But let's bear in mind, as I said yesterday, the really important thing, this is finishing. Now, if I'm going to keep the count that I used, this is not an irregular B wave like it is turning out to be in the S&P. This is just a straight 5th wave up in the NASDAQ, that because we're just striking such high levels and being pushed up there under thin market conditions. I mean, the volume wasn't disgusting today, but it really wasn't as robust as you would think for the numbers that this market was reaching today. Now, maybe in the individual stocks that they were seeing higher participation, but in our market, it just did not really occur. In fact, it just switched out, so I can't go check it because the Globex just basically opened. And we can see that we're basically just going to hang out right where we finished. So we're not really moving anything just yet, but that's kind of what it did yesterday at the start of Globex as well. So here's what's on the plate for now. We need to get up. We need to finish this minute 3rd wave, right? Minute 1, minute 2, minute 3, up in here, maybe as high as here. And then we're going to put in a minute 4th wave, and we'll be able to put the retracements. Once we have that top in for 3, then we'll run the Fibonacci retracements to see how deep 4 can get. Remember, the most common relationship is a wave 4 will come down 0.382 of that third wave. That's the common level. We're not going to look for anything deep because we still have a pretty strong wave 5 to go up and then finish this sequence. And then again, as I've repeated so many times, all the additional sequences all the way up. Now, if indeed I turn around and I put the completing waves back where they were last week before I presented the alternate, which became the preferred, we'd be putting all the highs here as a failure. And that still works because this could be wave A and this could be wave B of an irregular. And then what that does tell us is that when this irregular is over, a crushing C wave is going to come up. Now, if I leave it as is, this is minor 4, and this turns into minor 5. We're still looking for a crushing initial start to the next larger corrective phase. And it will resemble this, but it won't stop like this one did. It will then just finish itself off and drop in 5. That's really what I would be expecting now. I'd be expecting it to drop in 5 and get this stuff going and done. And it, like I have been saying as well, I do still believe that it will be a jolt. It will be a shock to the market. And that could be Friday, for all we know. It's either going to be so well received that they're going to be surprised and just so joyful, they just come in and push this thing above 16,000 and on up. But I honestly don't see that. This has been a long-term bull market in the NASDAQ. This has been going since 2009, actually. And so that we're already working on 13 years that this will have been in force if they continue it through the end of the year. So I think we're really due for a much larger pullback, a much larger correction than what we've seen and what we've got. But this has got to complete first. So tomorrow, some additional upside, maybe up to 15,500, but at least up to 15,400 is my guess. And then we'll come down in a corrective 4, and then we'll go up in a 5, and that should then complete the entire sequence. That's where I'm going to leave it right now. And the next update will be on Tuesday, the 24th.